going faster than you expected?
I think they're right on schedule. In Hawaii, the swim times have been around 50 minutes or so. They're around halfway right now, and it's about 25, 26 minutes. So the way we had 1 minute.
Okay, now how does someone train for something like this? Not everyone has access to ocean water.
Well, I think a lot of people that are out there now are probably in the ocean for the first time, which really scares me because swimming in the open ocean is so different from swimming in a pool. You don't have the size of the pool to kick off. It's chlorinated water in the pool. Here it's salt water. It's open ocean water where you have to constantly look up. So your stroke is a lot different in the open ocean versus being in a pool. So a lot of people are going to get sore necks while they're out there. They're going to be experiencing a lot of other different things. There are jellyfish out in the water they have to be very careful of. So it's going to be a very difficult experience for a lot of people.
How is that salt water going to affect them now, in this swim, and later during the day?
Well, if they swallow a lot of that salt water, and as you can see, the water is a little bit rough out there, a little bit of turbulence there. If they swallow some of that water, then they're going to feel that while they're out on the bike, especially on the run. So they have to be very, very careful with swallowing water, taking in too much water during the course of the swim. We came down to the shore this morning and made the decision this morning as to exactly what direction they were going to swim. Now, the most difficult direction is the way they went out. We wanted to do that first because they're the strongest at that time. They went out to the left, they looped the buoys there, they came parallel back to the shore. We wanted to keep it in a triangular fashion where they're close to the shore. God forbid anything happened, they'd be close to the shore, we can bring them right in.
Why does the swimming go first?
Physical purposes that if you're out on the road, you're running hard, your muscles are tensed up, and then you get into the cold water, you can get serious cramps that way too. So it's very important you get everyone in the water and out of the water as fast as possible.
1 hour, swimming 2.4 miles. He's out of the water. Number 2, George Mizelitis.
This was what you expected to do, Ellen, huh? The swimming, that's where you're most...
I thought I'd do a lot better than an hour.
In second place coming out of the water was Reginald Hahn from Columbia, Maryland. And in third place coming out of the water was Michael Haynes from Whitehall, Pennsylvania. And he came out only about a minute after Reginald. We have results in the women's field. First place coming out of the water was Elizabeth Martineau from Boston, Mass. And she came out of the water in about an hour and 27 minutes. We had 40 people out of the water within an hour and a half, which is a good time. I've been told that the water's pretty choppy out there. When they made the first turn around the first buoy, they were headed into the current. And that 1.1 mile swim up the parallel shore caused a lot of problems. The other major problem that we've been hearing about is the jellyfish. I knew a little bit about it yesterday. Because the weather has been so warm the last few days, the jellyfish has been prevalent in the water, and a lot of people, if not every person, it seems like, has been stung by jellyfish, unfortunately. You know.
Like when 15 rounds with Larry Holmes, with my hands tied behind my back.
Come on. I don't know how he gets through the goggles that he gets stung in the eye area by a jellyfish. And so it's just a matter of whether or not that sting pain can disappear. If it can disappear over the next few minutes, we'll allow him to continue. If not, then it's too dangerous for him to be out on the bike. I really trained hard for this, but it doesn't make sense to kill yourself.
It was terrible. I swam in Hawaii, and this was worse. There was no rhyme or rhythm to the waves, and I think I lowered the ocean level about an inch till I swallowed.
That's my son. I'm proud. Get out of it. I'm proud. Let's go.
Good luck!
By now, you're probably asking why. Well, each of the 127 competitors has their own reason. Paul Graham tells us his.
I feel better physically. I mean, I couldn't, 8 months ago, I couldn't run 2 miles. I couldn't swim a quarter mile, and I don't think I could bike very well either, maybe 5 or 10 miles. I don't think I'm a particularly good athlete. I count myself as like G.I. Joe, you know. I can do a little bit of everything. I'm surely not a good runner, although I can maybe get in the top half of running. I'm a horrible biker. but I learned, and I try to learn a lot, and I'm comfortable in the water. But if I come in the top third, I'd be lucky there. So a year ago in December, I started training. And I trained through 5 or 6 months, and I was going to do one in the following January in Hawaii. And in May, I got diagnosed as having a lymphoma cancer, which kind of interrupted my training a little bit. So I had some operations and went through chemotherapy for 12 or 14 weeks. And every day, you know, from that previous December all through my post-operative recovery and all through the chemotherapy as they drain your body energy, every day I thought about the triathlon. It was something that I started and didn't finish. I do it because it's achievable with a lot of difficulty. Not everybody everyone can do it, not everybody does do it. And I like hard things to achieve for, and I like to achieve them. I used to look at people running on the Charles, and I couldn't walk too good, and I'd kind of yearn to do it, but I never thought that I wouldn't do it. When I started, you know, I mean, that's like 7, 8 months ago. September seemed so far away. My goal for time is finished by Tuesday. It's like Rod Stewart says, never give up on a dream.
But don't you ever give up on your dream.
Paul, tell me, we're all so excited to see you getting to fulfill your dream, but is it bordering a little bit on nightmare at this point?
Well, I sure do wish it was over by now. I started this a long time ago, and I think the eyes are all helping me finish it.
Well, the leaders are now out of the water and on to the bike route, but they have just begun conquering the Cape.
Medical team.